Today I'm going to show you a strategy which I refer to as the lazy trader's strategy, which is especially effective for those who are time poor but still want to give themselves the chance of winning some of the $10,000 in prizes on offer during the Capital CFD's Ultimate Trader Challenge. Now, first of all, I'll walk you through the goal and criteria behind the strategy, but please keep in mind this concept is for testing purposes only on a demonstration account and has not been tested or evaluated in real time. There is a disclaimer at the end of this video, so please take the time to review that. Now, the strategy itself is aptly named the Lazy Trader's Strategy for the Ultimate Trader Challenge demo competition. Now, as you know, there is $10,000 up for grabs in this challenge, and in order to win some of the prizes, you've got to be in it, you've got to participate, and you've got to play some trades. So the goal of this particular strategy and what I'm walking you through now is to keep it simple and spend minimal time on the particular strategy. It is best for the busy trader, and the idea is to generate obviously a positive return and all potential returns here, whilst keeping the potential losses small. Let me take you through the rules. The entry rule is pretty simple. That's the whole idea of it. Is the chart in an uptrend? And the way we're going to determine that is we're going to apply a 100-day moving average. Is the 100-day moving average rising today compared to yesterday? If so, then buy. But we're going to have some support levels. I'll show you how to put your limit orders in. Or is the 100-period moving average falling today compared to yesterday? If it is, then sell. Okay, so we need to have a look where is the closest support, or in this case, if we're shorting, we want to have a look for the nearest resistance level as well. Now let's have a look at the position sizing strategy for this particular method. First of all, you've got $10,000 in virtual cash when you start off this demo challenge. Now we're going to look at trading at 2 to 10 times leverage, or your total position will not be more than $20,000 to $100,000 in total positions. That's 2 times leverage, and that's 10 times leverage. Now in this example, we'll take 5 times leverage, or no more than $50,000 in total positions, and we're going to trade even-sized parcels of 10,000. So we're going to split that across 5 positions to total $50,000. So what we're going to do, we're going to trade 5, we're going to try and find 5 trades of $10,000 which do not exceed more than $50,000. Now it might pop over that because you'll see we're going to place some limit orders and wait to buy off support or sell off resistance. So we'll play that by ear. We're going to put a number of orders because not all of them get triggered at once. Exit rule is pretty straightforward. We'll apply a stop below the main support level, and we're going to run an automated trailing stop to lock in the potential gains there. That's it, it's finished. So let's have a look at the criteria for getting involved in this. Let me just move that out of the way. And what we're going to have a look at here is a chart of the Aussie US dollar. Now let me just go back to the platform here. This is the Capital CFD's trading platform. As you can see, I've got my portfolio open, which is available by the My Portfolio tab here. Now I could have actually generated from the Popular Markets tab, which is the first one you log into when you first get started. Now I've actually populated the My Portfolio tab by clicking on the plus button in order to add it to my portfolio. Now what we're going to look here, we can be on the Popular Markets. We're going to scroll down and bring up the chart on the Aussie US dollar. If we scroll over to the right hand side here, you'll see there's a chart icon right there to show chart. You just simply left click on that and the chart will actually pop up. Now actually I've already opened this one up, so let me just bring it up from down below here. Alright, now the criteria, as you recall, entry rule, we want to apply a 100-day moving average on the chart. That's pretty simple, and you can do it over any time frame. So depending on what time frame you want to be involved in, you could do it on a daily chart, you could do this on a 5-minute chart, a 15-minute chart, or depends on how much time you can allocate to it. It's really quite simple and you can apply it over whichever time frame. I'm just going to run with a 1-hour chart here. So let me show you how you can adjust the settings and apply a 100-period moving average. All you need to do is click on the Open Settings tab, and over on the right hand side here you'll have the chart overlays and indicators. Now you won't have one automatically applied like I have because I already had this as default on my charts. So what you could do is click on the Add button, and then you'll see you'll have a drop down menu of all the various indicators that you can apply on your chart. Now in this case you would apply a moving average to the chart. Okay, now I'm actually going to take that off because it's just applied a moving average for me, and you could change the period here by putting that to 100. Okay, in actual fact what I might do is add that and click on refresh, and that'll now apply. You'll see that green line is now going over the top, and I've already got a 100 period moving average there. So that's how you apply the 100 period moving average. Really quite simple there. You might want to scroll down and view some other changes that you can do here. I have my time frame selected as Australia Sydney, and I've also got my alerts going to my email address, which is a.jesson@capitalcfds.com.au. and once you've done all of that, click on the email button there, just click on save, and that'll populate as so. Now what I like to do here is just click on the settings tab and then click on it again, and then I've got maximum availability on the chart there. Now to see the information on your chart, it's really quite simple and intuitive with the charts here. I can scroll in closer and further apart, as you can see, and what we're going to do is apply this particular strategy. So let's get into it. What we want to look for is, with the 100 period moving average, is it rising today compared to yesterday? Then we look to buy, and then what we want to do is we'll locate where is the closest support if it's in an uptrend, or resistance level if it's in a downtrend. We're always going to trade in the direction of the most dominant trend. What you would do is you would apply this across as many charts as you can find. Now you could bring up, say, a chart of the DAX. This is the German index. You could bring up a chart of gold. You could bring up a chart of the S&P 500, or in this case, as I mentioned, we're bringing up the Aussie versus US dollar. Now as you can see, this is clearly in an uptrend. It's in a beautiful uptrend. It's really found a lot of support down at this level, 103, and now it's tracking up nicely. If I scroll in closer here, you'll see that the 100 period moving average is rising today compared to yesterday. Okay, so we just, well, in this case it's an hourly chart. Is it rising today versus the period before? Okay, so just let me clarify that. We're looking at the period before. So yes, it is rising compared to that. And now what we want to do is we want to locate some support levels here so we can check it out, or look to put in our buy order. As you can see here, and let me just bring up another little text box so we can record some numbers here. Okay, so at the moment the Aussie dollar is at this level here around 107.16. Now we do run a 1 pip spread on the Aussie US dollar 24 hours a day, but as you can see, the 100 period moving average, the chart itself has actually bounced off this level a couple of times, and through this level here you notice that it's hit this level at 106, hit it there, broke through there, rallied back up, hit it again there, hit it around there, just slightly broke through there. So we would call that reasonable support level there. So what we would suggest in this particular case, support levels down here at 106. So we would put in our buy at 1.0600 in this particular trade. So we're going to look to buy if it comes back around the support level here. Now given that it is an uptrend, that might be a little bit optimistic. We might need to raise the level to here, because we could also suggest that the upward trend line, which we can apply on the chart quite easily, you just grab that little trend line indicator there, and so if this chart were to come down, you can see that it might be intersecting at around the 1.064, somewhere around that level there, if it were to pop down over the next couple of hours, and we'd be happy to buy around that level as well. So in fact we might actually do that. We might buy it at 1.064. So let me bring up the chart again, 1.064. Okay, so this is a subjective or discretionary trading strategy, so keep that in mind. There's no clear-cut black or white strategy here. It's a little bit discretionary where you decide to put your support and resistance levels. So that's where we're going to buy it at, and I'll show you how to place that limit order. From there we need to adjust where our stop level is. So in this case we would need to place our stop level just below support. Now as I said, support level was there around 106, but we're going to go a little bit further from that. We're going to give it a little bit of breathing room, and we're not going to say that is recent support. We'll probably just pop down to here to give it a little bit of space to move there. Now that level there on the chart is 105, let's call it 105.3. So we could put our stop at 1.0530, and we'll place our stop there, and we'll run a trailing stop off that. That's pretty much it. Now in Aussie or foreign exchange trades, one mini contract is $10,000. So the minimum parcel in an Aussie US dollar or Euro US or a currency position is actually 1 mini equals 10,000 US dollars. So we're going to be trading at that level. Now Aussie dollar is a little bit stronger, as you can see, than the US at the moment. So it's going to be slightly less than that in in Aussie dollars. So let me bring up the chart. We'll go over to the Aussie US dollar here, and it's very simple to place a trade. Just simply click on the trade button, which will generate this window over here. But we're actually going to do something different here. And the reason we're going to do something different here is this is the order ticket you would use if you wanted to buy in at market and place your stop and limit and add your trailing stops accordingly. But because we're placing a limit order, we're actually not going to buy at market. So I'm going to close that and pop down here, and instead of hitting the trade icon, I'm going to hit the order button. Okay, that brings up the order ticket. Now, just to confirm once again, our particular trade, we're going to look to buy at 1.064 with a stop at 1.053. Okay, so let me just place that. We want to buy 1 at 1.064, okay, with a stop at 1.053. Okay, so the stop is 110 points away, and the possible profit or loss in this particular case, it's in brackets, so it's $102. So we're going to place that particular trade there. Now, in order to place a trailing stop, you do actually need to be in the position first in order to adjust and apply that trailing stop. So we're going to monitor this trade until we're actually in, but that's pretty much the level. So once we've identified it, we pick the size, which is one contract, which is a mini contract or 10,000 US dollars. The level is at 1.064 and the stop is at 1.053. Okay, once we've done that, we just simply click on submit, and that order is now gone through. Order has been created successfully. You'll get an email confirmation straight to your email inbox to say that that order has now been placed. It's a requirement, so that needs to go through. Click on done, and then if I just pop into the order book, you'll see that my order is sitting here to buy 1 at 1.064 with the current level at 1.07119. Now, you can actually amend the order if you want to, but we're just going to leave our order sitting there. But at any time, you can always amend your order, adjust your stops, put in any limits if you wanted to, and so on. Once the order is executed, we could also go in and adjust the trailing stop or add the trailing stop as well. So that's pretty much the strategy. Once again, just to bring it up, we have the entry rule. Is it in an uptrend? Is 100 period moving average rising compared to yesterday or falling compared to yesterday? And where is the closest support or resistance, which is a discretionary method? We place equal size parcels of $10,000 and we apply a stop below the main support level, and we run a trailing stop to lock in the potential gains. That's it. That's one of the strategies. Multiply this by several positions. So you might look at the Euro US, you might look at gold. Here's a picture of the gold chart once again in a beautiful uptrend. Support's probably around this level here at around the 1740 level. You could buy off that, put your stops below the 1720 level, and then run a trailing stop accordingly. Very simple to implement, takes a couple of minutes if that. Place your orders and then check every day or however often that you feel appropriate, and come back in and see which orders are executed. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next tutorial, and good luck with the competition.